I'm going to talk about today the top 3 things schools do not teach you about money. So number 1, you want to be rich. Financial literacy is, do you speak the language of money? Most important. And the problem with, so if you want to be a doctor, you have to learn the language of a doctor. You want to be an auto mechanic, you have to learn the language of an auto mechanic. So what we do at Rich Dad here is we say we're taking financial literacy. We teach you how to speak the language of money. For example, I'm Japanese American 4th generation. If I went to Japan, I'd have to have Japanese literacy. In fact, I studied Japanese twice. I flunked those things too. I'm not really good at languages. I failed school because I failed English. But the reason I'm a rich man is because I speak the language of money. So let me give you the big picture of financial literacy here. The first thing is, do you want to be an employee? You better learn the language of an employee. You're going to be a doctor or a lawyer or a technician, you have to learn this language. The language of money is out here. B stands for big business. That's like Elon Musk or Steve Jobs. They have to learn to speak the language of money. But this is the real language here. Big smart people here, I must learn to speak money so I can finance these guys here. The problem with education is these words here, I'm going to go to school and get a good job and I want job security. That's their language. These people speak one language. I want some job security. The S is like a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant say, if you want it done right, do it by yourself. And so a small entrepreneur is also this. They do everything on their own. But the language of money is out here because what you'll find out is that these people have to have a team. I have to speak to accountants. I'm speaking the language of money out here. They say, if you're going to start a brand, see, these people don't start brands. This stands for brand. Rich Dad is a brand. Gillette is a brand. Honda is a brand. That's the difference. So the reason you want to speak the language of money is if you really want to be big business, like Elon Musk, his brand is Tesla, SpaceX. He now owns X, whatever you call it here. They're brands. Warren Buffett, the richest, the so-called the smartest investor in the world, by some people, he only invests in brands. These people don't come here because they stay too small. They think too small. And the I, this stands for insider. See, these guys here invest in 401ks, stocks, bonds, mutual funds. That's not what a capitalist does. A true capitalist is here. A capitalist doesn't buy stocks. A capitalist sells stocks. What I'm taught to do for my rich dad was to take this, package it, and I sell stocks. So one of my goals on this side as a young man, most people want job security. What I wanted to do was be a capitalist and go to Wall Street and be on the New York Stock Exchange and sell shares of my company. So I've sold shares of my company on the New York Stock Exchange, Toronto Stock Exchange, and the next stock exchange is going to be NASDAQ. To do all that, those are some of the differences of why the rich are getting richer, but it starts with learning the language or the vocabulary of money. Do you speak money? These people do not. These people speak money. That's lesson number 1. So the second thing that schools don't teach you about money is this. The most stupid thing that schools do, they don't teach you about the language of money. Then they tell you don't make mistakes. So the biggest mistake that schools make is they punish you for making mistakes. So this here is one of my cars. I have an EV. This is a Bentley. This is my license plate. I was a 1.9 GPA student, and my classmate called me. I went to military school. I flew for the U.S. Marine Corps, and I had to learn the language of pilots. Okay, you're going to be smart if you learn the language. So to get a 1.9, I was basically less than a C student. So a classmate called me, and he says, "You're lying. You didn't have a 1.9. You're even lower than that." I said, "Okay, give me a break here." But the reason this is a V12, one of the fastest cars on the road, this is a Bentley. But the reason I can afford it is because I've made more mistakes than most school teachers. If you don't make mistakes, you don't learn a damn thing. But that's why my poor dad was poor, which stood for poor, helpless, and desperate. He never made mistakes, and he died poor. And that's what's happening in the world today. We have millions of people my age, old guys, who haven't made mistakes. Their money's in their 401k. That's crashing right now. Our banking system's crashing. And they're still saying to their kids, go to school and don't make mistakes? Well, how in the world do you learn? A baby only learns to walk by standing up and falling down. As a pilot in the U.S. Marine Corps, I crashed 3 times. The only reason I'm alive is because every day in flight school, we had to practice crashing. We had to make mistakes in order to become a great pilots. So I went down 3 times and all this, but I'm alive because the U.S. military, U.S. Marine Corps knows If you don't make mistakes, you don't learn a damn thing. So our school teachers are teaching kids to be poor because they tell you don't make mistakes. Remember, a baby cannot learn to walk unless it falls. You don't get on a bicycle unless you fall off. And the same as being an entrepreneur. If you don't make mistakes, you can never learn to be an entrepreneur. They don't teach you how to cheat. And number 3, big mistake that schools make. They say if you're cheating, you'll get Fs and all this. Look, that's for the employees and self-employed. They don't cheat. But if you're going to be on the B and the I side, you have to learn to cheat legally. And every school teacher will go, don't cheat, Look, the only way I got through school, I'm not recommending it, but the only way I got through high school